Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to do another board game unboxing. This is another game that we got off of Kickstarter. A game with a fairly unique theme. Not totally unique, but fairly unique. Definitely some cool mechanics in it. Great solo game as well as multiplayer. Yeah, just definitely a game that we've... it's by a small... company called Kayenta Games. Dan Hallagan is the designer, and I believe this is his first game that he's designed. Small publisher, and we love to support small publishers because maybe one day we hope to be one day in the future. So definitely a game that I think is a bit underrated as far as like its popularity that goes. Maybe a little bit because of the theme, but that aside, it's very thematic. The mechanics are great in it, and you really feel like you're playing a great thematic game with great mechanics, basically. Yeah, so anyway, so we've been kind of delaying opening this a little bit because it did come with a bunch of expansions and everything that we got off of Kickstarter and, player tiles and stuff like that. So we decided that we were just going to do the base game here just so we can get a game in soon. We've been watching a lot of playthrough videos on it. Jay put out part one of a playthrough on it. Of course, Dan Hallagan did a bunch there, and there's been a few other playthroughs. Not a lot of playthroughs on it. We hope to one day do a playthrough on it. But anyway, without further ado, let's check and see what's inside the box. So, all right. So let's check it out here as we get our glasses. Let's see if we can read this. So changes are afoot in Derbyshire, England, where 4 families, all possessed of eligible young gentlemen and ladies, find themselves embroiled in the romance and intrigue during a time of optimism. Fortune has recently smiled on these somewhat neglected estates, families with respectable histories that endured hard times in the late 18th century. Now in the mid-19th, the families of Asquith, Cavendish, Poisonby, and York have coincidentally come into new sources of income and are intent on improving their country estates and restoring their failing reputations. The inflow of funds is modest, but there is a new optimism abroad in southern Derbyshire. The envy of this part of the country is Alderley Hall, where Margaret Dowager and Countess Fairchild and her sister-in-law, Ethel, reside in a joint income well in excess of, I believe it's £20,000. Only their loneliness living in such a sprawling estate dampens the generous hearts of the 2 widowed and childless ladies. Then, to their delight, they welcome new occupants, the Dowagers' dashing nephew, Charles, and lovely niece, Elizabeth. Sadly, not far removed from tragedy, their parents, returning from holiday in the south of France, perished crossing the Channel in the sudden ill weather. The death of Margaret's brother-in-law and his lady has brought Charles and Elizabeth permanently into the Fairchild residence from their childhood estate of Yorkshire. Of course, the irrepressible Fairchild sisters, a year removed now from the terrible accident, know precisely what is the best medicine for a sad heart: romance. And after the surrounding hills are awash in prime matchmaking material, the nearby Derbyshire families all have marriageable children, and the Fairchild ladies have designs. Again, this definitely does not sound like a game that thematically that I would like. However, I do like unique themes, and I do like great mechanics, and this definitely has both of those. And there are other games that we have looked at that we actually have. Pret-a-Porter, which is a fashion industry one, definitely not a theme that we would normally get into. And Rococo, which is a game that we don't have yet, but I've been looking at. It's about dressmaking. But again, we love mechanics, and mechanics with great theme. It's definitely sign us up. So anyway, without further ado, let's get inside the box. So let's take a look here. It says 1 to 4 players, 30 to 90 minutes, and ages 14 and above. So it is a little bit higher of a learning curve, although it's not really a hard game. It's probably medium, light to medium game, somewhere in between there. The mechanics are not all that hard for anyone who's played, card drafting, engine building. I don't want to call it strictly work replacement, because the only work replacement is the hiring of servants. So it's not like you're fighting over areas. And tableau building. So definitely mechanics that we like and enjoy. So let's check it out. But definitely a very heavy box. There it is. Now it's open. It's no longer new. A little bit of a damage here on the side, unfortunately, which we did not notice at first. But nothing that great. Nothing to cry about. It's definitely a game that it's probably the weight of it. A lot of it has to do with, but it's definitely a game that we're going to keep in our collection. We have no plans in getting rid of it, so not like we're going to sell it again. So all right, so this is the second edition of the game. There's a few changes in gameplay over the initial game. But they originally came out in 2018, but nothing that dramatic, but basically tightened up a lot of stuff. So all right, so let's take a look at the rule book here. So you have your story here, which kind of a little bit what I read about earlier. And then your game components and everything here. So definitely a very nice looking game. Yeah, a little bit maybe of the pictures up top there of the supply board and the round track. Maybe a little bit of, look a little bit like Photoshop type stuff, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's still very nice. And the cards I really like, the iconography and everything on the cards, and the way they're laid out with the photos and everything, and the little descriptions. Excellent. So again, very thematic. So there's some examples of the cards. So basically you have family members, you have, I believe what's called prestige guests, and what are called regular guests, stuff like that. There's probably more specific names other than that, but that's what I refer to them as. So you have casual guests, I guess, and prestige guests. Yep, so that's right. So I was right on that. And you have a regular gentry, which is just your all the cards, all, male or female, just everybody in the game. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be going into performing various activities using these different rooms and everything, which you're going to buy, and you're going to be using servants and whatnot to perform these activities, and you're going to be growing your prestige and reputation, I should say, not prestige. Growing your reputation, and again, trying to get the most victory points as you possibly can. So here we go. Here's a player setup area, so how to set up the area. And there's the center right there, which shows a board. And there's various modes of play in this. There's a solo estate challenge for the individual one. There's a regular solo challenge, as well as the regular type games. You can either play a long or a short game, which I believe the short game is 16 rounds, and the long game is 20 rounds. So there's different modes of play in there. And I think it's 1 to 4 players for the base game, like it says here, but the expansion does add a 5th, and I want to say 6th player. I'm not sure, but I've heard conflicting things. I know one video I watched said it was 5 player, and another one was 6 player. So, either one. I don't envision myself ever playing 5 or 6 players, but you never know. Probably 4 would be the most. Victory point distribution on the different tiles and everything, I think. Oh, and the different aspects of the game. So improvements, gentry, objectives, reputation. So different ways you can score. So a little bit of a point salad. And then here the round track and how that works. Apologize if you're not getting the whole thing in there. It's kind of a big rule book. It's as big as the box. Usually the rule book is the size of the box. The rule book is about that size also, as far as length and width goes. It's definitely how your family player boards and everything in here. We'll show you more of those as we get into the thing. But so yeah, so just really a nice rule book. Looks like well laid out. We'll have to check that out. A little bit long, but not too bad, I guess. And then, so 16 pages for the rule book. All right, so here we go. So we have a glossary, and this is thick. This is 28 pages. So I think this includes all the tiles probably and all the people. Yeah, so these are all the different people in the game. These are your main people right here that I read about earlier. The guy up top there is the orphaned people of the Fairchild family there. Charles Fairchild and Miss Elizabeth Fairchild, his brother and sister. And then some of the main characters right here. So it basically gives a description and a summary of all the characters. It's a little bit longer than what's on the card, so it gives you a little extra flavor text here. A little bit of history behind it. Elderly Hall and everything. Yeah, so some different things in here. Here all the different parts of the game here. What happens during the game. So it looks like it's a little bit more in depth as to what everything does. All the tiles, all the cards, that kind of stuff. So all your casual guests here. So it's a lot. I don't know if it goes through every one of them, but it goes through probably samples of each. You know, different modes of play in here. So it's kind of like directions in a way. I mean, these might be just the more deeper directions and everything. I'm not sure exactly. We haven't really gone through this yet. Some of the different tiles here, sculptures, the different monuments, essentials, prestige, sporting, and service. Those are different types of tiles. Prestige guest, player board, reminder tiles. So this may be a little bit, looks like it's a little bit more in depth. It's not what I thought it was. I thought it was an appendix at first of all the summary of all the cards, but maybe a little bit of strategy in here. Sorry. Again, this is kind of big. So there you go. All right. So your little score pad here. So what you're going to be scored upon are your improvement tiles, your gentry, VP, basically your cards. Objectives and milestones. You have like end game scoring, stuff like that. In game objectives you're going to try to meet. Reputation. You know, your servants are going to get 2 points apiece. Wealth, so much per 200 pounds, point per 200 pounds. Courtship and VP cards, and then your grand total. So fairly straightforward, nothing too difficult there. And this is really cool, which I saw a video on last night of an unboxing, but definitely really, really nice boxes here. I think these are for each one of the families here. So this is the Wessex family, which is in the expansion, but they included the boxes in here. It's a nice box, nice thick boxes in here to put all your family stuff. So instead of baggies, you get to put them in these nice boxes, and everything stores away really nice. So this is for the Cavendish family. Again, empty there. I think most of the family ones are going to be empty. The Howard family. I think this might be one of the expansion ones too. Very nice though. These kind of look like boxes like my grandmother would have, kind of thing that she would store her jewelry and whatnot in. Well, maybe not jewelry, but little knickknacks and stuff. Pause and B. So very nice with the family crests and everything. Definitely old-fashioned looking, very nice. Let's see here what we got here. This is the House of York one. I know a couple of these boxes have stuff in them, so I think it's the purple boxes that have stuff in them. And then this one is the House of Asquith. All right, and yeah, I think these have stuff in them. Yeah, so it's very nice though. It's a very nice artwork and everything on these. And then here are there's a lot of the servants in here. I'm not going to try to name all the different servants because I don't really know, because I haven't actually played the game myself, but looks like a female servant there, some housemaid or something. And then you have the blue guys there. So there's ladies and men servants as well as general servants. And these look like they're maybe the brother and sister and stuff in here. I don't know, I'm not sure exactly, but these look like they're a little different. Looks like there's a male and a female possibly in here. No, actually these are both male. And I'm not going to open up each one of these. I'm just going to show you each one. These are either like useful man or valets or something. And then some of the purple ones, these are for ladies. And then finally, some green ones here. Oops. And then you have your 20-sided die here, which is for the solo game, which, depending upon what you roll, you'll take out certain cards. Kind of mimics another player taking out tiles. And then a very nice felt-type bag for the game. Definitely a big bag to put all the tiles in, so you can get your hand in there really easily. All right, so there's that. Sorry. And then one other box here. This one looks like it's empty. Yep. So it's another box to put stuff in. Wow, it's just a lot. A lot of good. Very well laid out though, it looks like. Your cards here. So these look like they're your... I think these are just your regular guests. Commoners kind of thing. And I think it's got some victory point cards in here too. I can get this out. Oops. Be careful I don't slice into the cards. There we go. Alright, so we're definitely, as usual, going to be sleeving these. You know, it says you can peel it off, but like a playing card thing, but I can't seem to get that off. Alright. Yeah, so these definitely need to be sleeved because they're not like linen finished or anything, but that's okay. Alrighty, so these are just some examples of the cards. I'll show you. Try to get the focus there a little bit. Come on. Focus. Yeah, so it's not cooperating to focus. Oh well, whatever. Alright. But very nicely done. Very well laid out and everything. Like I said, a little flavor text in it, so it works like a story. Let's kind of briefly show you these. Again, can't quite get it to focus, so. But nice photos and everything. I think some of these are original photos from that time period, and other ones were like ones of maybe Kickstarter people or friends, that kind of stuff. You know, a couple of them were anyway. Oh, very nice cards and everything. But the red ones, you can see, got some negative attributes on it. So I think in the upper left are the reputation level you have to be at to use them generally. And then in the upper right is any negative or positive consequences. The red are negative consequences. And then on the bottom left are any like help that are needed, servants that are needed. This one doesn't need any. And then I think that's prestige points you get from using this person. And then that may be negative reputation you get too. Actually, these are negative victory points you get at the end if they're still in your hand. And then here is the, I think that's for, actually that allows you to attract a, commoner type, that's not the official term, but a guest from the draw deck. And then this right here loses reputation if you use her. Yeah, so there are some negative as well as positive guests in here. We'll see if we can find a negative. A lot of these are negative. But there are some all ones that are positive. Let's see if we can find some. I might have just, there we go. Oh, no, this is all, there we go. This one's positive stuff. So this one requires a green servant. Well, it's not the official name, but. And then this one will give you a little bit of money. Won't give you any victory points, but only is a level 1. But definitely nicely done quality. Yeah, I think these are one of the families. And they're families and friends kind of thing. And then right here, this is for the solo solitaire game. So you roll this and they take away certain die each round. So, I mean certain, not die, but certain tiles. And then these are the solo family. So this is an expert family. So you need to score at least a 129. Plus they can add like victory points to it. So a minimum of 129 for this family. And then you have, so a whole bunch of these is 1, 2. So this one's an easier family here. This one's a intermediate. So it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's easy. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. 11, 12. So 12 different families you can play against. That's pretty awesome. A lot of replayability there. And what the different servants mean. So the blue ones are the butlers, or purple ones, I should say. The red one was the housekeeper. The black one is the under butler. So footman is the white one. And then the green one is a valet. The green's a valet, okay. The lady's maid is the, looks like another purple one. I think that might be blue actually for that top butler there. And then on the back, the different round track icons and what's going on there. The village fair, the courtship event, the objective card draw, builder's holiday, national holiday, end game scoring, etc. So a bunch of these. 3, 4, yeah, so 4. And how a round goes, the flow chart, which I believe got changed a little bit in this edition. I think right in here it got changed a little bit. I'm not sure the exact flow it was before, but changed some stuff around. And then the different iconography cards. So one for each player, what stuff means. And your victory point card icons, what goes on in the victory point cards. So 4 of these. All right, so there's one of the decks there. This deck, I think, is all the, yeah, these are the prestige guests. There we go. Tear that one off, so I'm not cutting into them with their scissors. So a nice thick stack of these. This is one of the prestige guests. You can see more victory points. It says P for prestige. So a little bit of money there. But very nice, nicely done. Try to stop when I get to one of the higher level cards. Actually, I think some of these ones right here, they have the crescent, and these are all the family cards. They must be. Yeah, these are the York ones. So the base ones you get with it. So these aren't the prestige gifts. These are the family ones with their crests. Again, very nicely well done. Not a lot of powers in these, but these are your basic family. And these are the, yeah, this Charles Fairchild. He's one of the guys' siblings there, whose parents died, and that's her. So these two will come out and you'll play these, you'll vie for their affections kind of thing, I guess you could say, or influence. So she requires a lot of servants and everything. So a little bit higher levels here. We're getting, this is a level 5. She was a level 6, so that's really high. I think it goes up to level 8, I think is the highest level, I want to say. Could be wrong on that one, but I think it's 8. So far, I've only seen 6, so maybe 6. Maybe the expansion might add some higher levels, possibly. I'm not sure. But no, yeah, very nice cards. Wow, look at this one. So this is the developer's cat. Of course, this is a level 8. Look at all the servants he needs. So what's his name? Duchess Lila or Lido? I can't read it, but that's funny. So this must be Dan's cat. Look at all those servants and look at all that reputation you get from that cat. That's funny. I'm sure you don't use this in the game. I don't know. Maybe you do. I wouldn't think so. But that's funny though. It's very nice, nicely done here. Yeah, so again, deck building, tableau building, a little bit of kind of work replacement. I wouldn't call it regular, standard work replacement. You do need certain workers available. So it's got, I guess you could call it work replacement, for lack of a better name. Yeah, very nice, nicely done. All right, so I think we're just about done here. All right, let's take a look and see what we got here. Now we have the, these are the victory point cards. The, not victory point cards, the end game scoring. So goals, things you're going to try to go for towards the end. You're going to get a certain amount of them at the beginning of the game. And then as the game goes on, you're going to discard some and add some other ones depending upon what activities you take place in. So, well, some of these are somewhat luck-based, I guess, and whether or not some of the tiles come out. But so these are, if you have 2 valets and 2 ladies' maids, you get 5 victory points. This one is if you have a couple different tiles, a breakfast room and a north dining room, you get 9 victory points. So this one's if you have 10 or more servants, you get 7 victory points, and so forth. If you have an under butler in here, you get 5. Get another tile one. This one is 1 VP per service tile you have. So 3 ladies, maids required, a certain amount of money, 1,200 it looks like. So different conditions you can go for. It gives you kind of a focus, I guess, you can go for. Maximum reputation. So it looks like it's, I'm not sure exactly what that is, how much that is. 1 VP per each prestige guest. So if you have the billiards room, the kennel, and the cabinet, you get 17 points, which is hard to get probably. Essentials, VP per tile. And just 3 valets, etc., etc. So lots of different end-game scoring things. 1 VP per sporting tile, 3 VPs per monument. These give you a lot of in-game recurring benefits. They're expensive, but they give you a lot of recurring benefits each round. So there we go. Animal lovers group. State tiles, 1 VP per state tile. Just different tiles, different things you get bonuses for at the end of the game. All right. So, and then these, which are really tiny, the actual VP cards you get for winning different events and stuff like that, scoring higher in certain categories. You can either keep them for victory points or trade them in for prestige and different other things, or money or whatnot. So these are very small. But they did get bigger in these. I think they kind of doubled the size in the expansion. So they're not huge, but they're definitely a lot bigger than they were here. Because these, even just holding them right now, they're very small. So different amounts here. And I guess in the second edition, they decrease the range of these right here. So they're a lot. And these ones right here are the ones you're going to draw. These are going to draw every so many rounds during different events to see who was the highest in that category. And if you're the highest in that category, then you get the affections of one of the Fairchilds there, the brother or sister you can choose between, and they'll be in your hand until the next event. So yeah, so these are just different things right here. Different events, different victory points and the different tiles. All right. Here you go right here. So this is the Alderley Hall. So this is for the regular game, I guess. 16, the shorter game. Like the 16-round game. The different events and everything, courtships and whatnot. And then this is the 20 round. So this is the longer game right here, and the other one was the shorter game. And then these right here are where your cards go into here. So these are all the different categories. So essentials, service, estate, prestige, and sporting tiles. And they'll go underneath here. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. And then really nice player boards, really thick here. These are really nice. Again, where all your servants are going to go. Track your reputation and everything. Order of play. So very, very nice. And there's 4 of these. So maybe there are just 4. And then this is the big board right here, which I'll just show you right here. So this right here is where we're going to put the builder's market. So all the tiles are going to be available. So at any one time, there are 6 tiles available. And then there is a reserve here for some of the service tiles and stuff. Objective cards, servants for hire, whatnot. So there you go. And then finally, these are all just going to be the tiles. So I'll quickly show you these. But again, very nice. Coinage right here. And then the tiles, they pop out really nice and thick. So these are all the estate tiles. So it looks like there's 16 of these. And then your reputation markers here. So yeah, I think it does go up through reputation 8. These are your sporting tiles. Good ways to get money, I think a lot of them are. Different sporting events. And some statues on here, or monuments, I should say. And these are your service tiles, the blue ones. And it looks like there may be a little bit more than 20 of some of the other tiles. So all the different ones here, pretty cool. We may do a video just showing you all the tiles in the game. After we do this one, after we punch them all out, we'll show you just a little bit of each one of the tiles. And each tile has a front and a back side. So you're going to want to flip a lot of these tiles to get more victory points in many cases, or to get other extended benefits and everything like that in the backs of these. And then finally here is your essential tiles right here. And then some of your monuments and more coinage. Yeah, so it looks like it did get damaged a little bit in the corner there, but nothing too bad. So that's it. So that is a big mess there, but just to show you there. So you're definitely looking forward to getting this one to the table. So this is Obsession by Dan Hallagan and Kayenta Games. So take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next unboxing video, which is probably going to be all the expansions for this game. Bye-bye now.